prevent a lot of those objections from coming up?
Yeah, great question. And there's two roads you can go down this. And they're both okay, but in my mind, one's better than the other. Here's the second, not as great. And that is there's plenty of other sales coaches that talk about this. Heading off objections before they occur, right? The problem with that is oftentimes it sounds very unskillful, it sounds very salesy, and dare I say very paranoid. It sounds like, a lot of times people will tell us that they don't like the user interface at Acme, or a lot of times people will say to me at Strike Zone that the fees are too high. I just wanted to get this out of the way that blah, blah, blah. It sounds like you had an agenda, okay? Here's where I prefer to go to get away from a lot of objections, and it's not listing all of your rebuttals before the objection happens. Because that's really, if you boil that type of training down, it's like listing all of the rebuttals before the objection happens. I believe that, yes, that might diffuse an objection. It might also create some objections. And you're just bringing negativity into the room that you don't need to have. What solves that a lot of times is the foundation of Easton University. And that is this. Slowing the process down in the beginning. So before you talk about any stuff that's even objectable, you're talking, hey, just out of curiosity, where are you guys at right now? Where do you want to be? Right? In your case, what's your biggest reason for wanting to get involved in martial arts? In Joel's case, where are you at right now with revenue at your restaurants? Where do you want to be? Why is that? Right? I'm super excited to be here, guys. What's the most important thing that we need to accomplish during this meeting? Focus on that stuff, and you'll find that a lot of the objections will just fall away. Because if I start to realize, what's your biggest reason, Matt, for wanting to get back involved in martial arts? Man, I've been focusing on the business so much, Derek. I just want to get back into it. When you say you want to get back into it, can you give me a specific example? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing. What is it? Back when I was in Colorado and I was training all the time, it might sound silly, but that was my only time when I wasn't either A, worried about my business, or B, worried about feeding my family, and I could just step onto the mat and forget everything for a couple hours there. And it certainly beats therapy. It certainly beats pharmaceuticals. And I'll just tell you, man, there were some days I parked that car. I never wanted to go train. It was the last thing I wanted to do, but I did it. And I just remember getting into my car, and I'd turn the ignition on in the car, and the stereo would be so loud. And I'd be like, wow, that's way too loud. And I don't even really like that song. And it was and the stereo was a great indicator, Derek, of the mood that I was in before I went to class. And then after class, I was sure, I was sweaty and my elbow hurt a little bit. And, but I just felt a lot better about myself, And you just got all the way there by just saying, before we even started talking, what's your biggest reason for wanting to get involved in martial arts? When you say, when you want to get back into it, can you give me a specific example? Walk me through that, right? What have we talked about your program? 0. What have we talked about your price? 0. What have we talked about your cancellation policy and the times for your morning class? Now let's say I want to do a 8:30 at night, Tuesday, Thursday course because that works for me, Derek, and you don't have that. How much weight is that objection going to have when you let me arrive at cheapers, creepers? I haven't done anything for myself in a long time, right? And you ask me, what are some of your thoughts? Well, you know what? I need to carve out more time for myself, and my stereo has been too loud, and I've been grouchy way too much. You know what? I'll make the 6:30 a.m. class that you have work. Perfect. You made a great decision. What happens next? Bop, 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 bop. When we slow down in the beginning, all of these other ticky-tack objections fall away. When we start the conversation mentally ready for objections and ready to fight and trying to get ahead of stuff, all we're doing is inviting negativity. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel super skillful is just to slow down, build a foundation around that person's current situation and where they want to be honest, right, about your limitations, and then let them make a decision, help them make a decision. Unfortunately, as salespeople, what we do, guys, is we jump right into, here's our programs, here's our pricing, right? Here's our member reviews, here's our wall of fame, here's the locker rooms, and all that other stuff that has nothing to do with, man, before we jump in here, what's the most important thing we need to accomplish? Right? I just want a tour, I want to see the facilities. What's your biggest reason for wanting to get, you mentioned on the phone that you're in martial arts, what's your biggest reason for wanting to get back in? Before you do anything, have as much of that conversation as possible and the objections will fall away. I used martial arts as a reference, guys. It's the same if you're a real estate agent. It's the same if you're a mortgage broker. It's the same as you're a recruiter, right? What's your biggest reason for wanting to change employers? Talk about all of that stuff. I see Larry there. I love his company, right? It's the best logistics company in the world. Best in the world. They're not the cheapest, right? Because they're the best, they're not the cheapest. The more he can slow down in the beginning, the more all of those little ticky-tack objections are going to fall away at the end. I'm not saying they won't be there. I'm not saying that the person won't be a little bit perturbed or upset that they had to pay what they had to pay, but they're still going to do it because he got to the heart of the matter of what's most important to them moving the warehouse in San Antonio is they don't shut down production. Because if they shut down production, the last time they did that, they lost $3 million, they lost 2 accounts and 4 employees. God forbid, you give these warehouse employees a week off, 3 of them went to Vegas. We never even saw them again. Like, I have to keep my systems running, right? Because of the fact that you had said you have to keep your systems running, we can't give your people enough. Here's what I'd like to do. We're going to come in at the hours of 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. when there's not a shift. We're going to slowly start to move the warehouse with 0 disruptions in your service, right? When he slows down in the beginning and learns about their world before he pitches, he's going to get a lot less objections. He might get the little hand grenade of, well, is there any way you can drop 30% off the price? His best answer, polite no, no, right? Boom, okay, just checking, right? So was that helpful? Hey, it's Matt Easton. If you like this video, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna teach you how to close right here, right now. I'm gonna cover all the costs for you. We're gonna get you the closing mini master class. I pick up all the costs. It's free to you. I'll cover the $299. Click the link in my bio. You're gonna get access to the class. It's gonna show you how to close anyone, anytime, without being pushy or manipulative. Your life is about to change. We're about to become best friends. Click the link in my bio. I'll cover the cost for you to learn how to close.